Hey, this is Hero887, your host, welcoming you guys to day 36 of the countdown to war. That is Shadow of War, coming out on October 10th. You know all about that, but what you don't know is this news I have to share with you today. And that is talking about the Shun feature and branded orcs. Interesting things about branded orcs and the Shun feature, and we're going to talk about it in this episode. So stick around for that, good friends. Now, here's a question by the community, and I'm going to answer it with the devs' information. So you know this is reliable, and here it is. Here's the question. What happens to the branded orcs if taking over a fortress is, note this, unsuccessful? So you don't know, you're going about your process of the war siege, and you see 3 or 4, 5, 6 orcs. You're like, well, brand you, you're all branded in your main. Well, I don't know. What would happen if you failed that siege? What happens if that fortress was not taken over? What if one of your branded comrades fell in battle as he was hit in the head with an axe, and that same axe came after you, and then it is through your head and you died? And what happened? Well, obviously the dead guy probably wouldn't come back, theoretically speaking. But let's just take for a moment what the devs have to say, and here's what they have to say. Alright, here it is. If we fail in the fortress assaults, there are several different things that can happen to our allied orcs. That is the branded orcs. So let's talk about that. Here's what they say. Are you ready? They can be killed. That makes sense. They can be captured. Ah, yes. And scheduled, catch this, for executions. Oh. Or betray us. Yeah, that's not so good. Oh, and then there's the small, etc., etc. So, speculation, discussion question. What other things do you think can happen to our allied orcs after a failed battle? Leave information of what you think in the comment below. I'd love to discuss that with you. Now, they also add, upon death of each allied orc, we can receive loot from them. Oh! Well, that's great. It's like, hey, I'm just a buddy of yours, and I'm an orc, and I tried to walk around, and no, I died. Oh, don't worry, master. You can have my last 2 pennies in my piggy bank. You know, that's great. So there you have it. You receive loot from an orc that was allied with you who died. So they're loyal to the death. In some cases, they might betray you, and that's not so loyal to the death. Either way, what we do know is confirmed is the devs are saying that there are scheduled executions, that they can be killed, that they can be captured, and upon failing a siege mission, we have a time limit to actually go back and re-siege, if you call it that, or also do alternate missions to try to build up your strength. For example, go saving those guys that were allied with you from executions. So that's very cool, because obviously if you're building friendship with your follower orcs, you can go ahead and try to, be their savior and get their butt out of trouble. So that's great, right? Kind of the cool stuff with side missions that comes up after losing a siege battle. That's one thing we all think, like, oh, I'm going to win every siege battle because I'm the beast and the best. Well, I'm going to differ with you on that, because there's some really difficult siege missions, especially if you're going at a siege mission that's above your level, which we'll talk about levels in another episode, actually probably the next one. But anyways, here's another question for us from the community. So, what is the Shun feature? Yeah, I said we're going to talk about it, and we're going to talk about it now. Here's what they have to say. The Shun feature will allow us to release an allied orc back into the world as an enemy. So there you have it. Now, there is some other things that we have to be careful about with shunning. You don't want to go all shun crazy and be like, you're mine, and then you're like, shun you. You're mine and your giblets. I'll shun you. You don't want to be doing that too much, because here's why. By doing this, the devs say, we also run the risk of turning them into psychotic orcs. Yes, psychotic. That kind of crazy, like mad, insane, put me in an insane asylum type of psychotic. Yeah, and while changing their traits through the Nemesis system. So they become crazy, and they get new traits. And I've actually heard some say that the orcs become exponentially more powerful and dangerous at the same time. So be careful in using that shun feature, because they come back as your enemy. Psychotic enemies with vendettas, that's something you don't want to have on your conscience, is it? Nor running and roaming the world that you were in. You don't want to run into them. But I have to say that makes for a very cool Nemesis system feature, one that I think we all love and enjoyed about from Shadow of Mordor. Shadow of War takes it to a new level. Very excited about the game. Well, that's all I have for you guys today, talking about branded orcs and shunning features and whatnot. I'm sure there's so much more. Leave a comment below and your speculations of what the etc. things could be when you lose a siege battle. What happens to your allies? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear some more feedback. And what are you going to do? Are you going to shun everybody? Make a bunch of psychotic orcs? Leave a comment if that's you crazy person. Alright, love you guys. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more daily Shadow of War news up until the release on October 10th. Also, would you do me a favor? Slam that like button with a bone-shattering wraith punch to the face! The harder you smash it, the better. No, really, it really helps this channel out. At this point of the video, you might be expecting some Shadow of Mordor gameplay. Am I right? Were you wanting to see the forging of the ultimate nemesis and most powerful follower? Have no fear, good sir, because epic good times of contentiness is still here on my channel. Simply click the new playlist as seen on this video. You see it? Are you still here? Well, what are you doing? Come on, come over to the other videos, you know, with the playlist that I've been mentioning. Just click and hit it and you can do it and all that good stuff. Alright, you know what to do. Alright, this is Hero887, your host, saying thanks again so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, by the way, and I'll see you over there in those gameplay videos.